Welcome to the island. I am your host, Alvis Samuel, and yes, this is a more than unusual type of episode because I usually don't make episodes this close together with each other. I usually try to do about anywhere from 2 to 3 a month. If I can get four in a month, then I will do that. But this has been pressing on me for a while, and I do believe that everybody out there, at least in the United States of America, needs to hear this, and preferably all around the world, because it deals with a lot, and it's two dreams. Now, before I get into the dreams, I have a bunch of dreams, and I usually record. I just sit down and record my dreams, me talking out these dreams, and I don't ever put any of them out there for anyone to hear. They're always usually for my record only. But these two have been pressing on me for now, I would say for a few months. And by a few months, I would say since the beginning of this year, 2022. And we are now in December. This is December 1st, actually. So the entire year, these two dreams have been on me and they haven't gone away. So let me just dive right into it and tell you these two dreams. And I want to try to describe them as best as I can. The first dream is me in a warehouse, and the garage doors are up so you can see outside. I am facing the west. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. And in the west that I'm facing, it's daytime. The sun is out, and it's around noon, I would say, close to noon. And I look up at the sky, and I see worlds like planets coming. I believe it was four planets. Each came one by one, closer and closer. It looked like these planets looked like moons getting closer and closer to the earth. It was massive. And out of these planets came a warrior. And by what I mean by a warrior, this warrior was massive, huge. All best described, I would say it was basically an angel. And the angel didn't say anything to me. He looked to his right, my left, and he reached his hand out and grabbed the moon. During the daytime, you can see the moon during the daytime, and during this time when he grabbed the moon, it was a half moon. Well, I would say a little bit less than half, but not a full crescent moon. And he grabs the moon, and the moon was in a sort of a frown face, like an upside down lemon slice, and he grabs it and places the moon on his head as it was a helmet ready to go to battle. And then he reaches down and grabs a spear. And then he chunks the spear at the sun. And then while the spear is in the air, clouds came out of the spear, and then it pierces and hits the sun. Then I turn to my right. And then as I turn to my right, I see everything on my right hand side on fire. Everything on fire, going up in flames. And then a dove comes out of the sky and goes into the warehouse, and it makes a border, and it's flying. And the fire does not cross the border, nor does it cross the path of this white dove. This dove, it looked almost like a pure white napkin, but it flew like a dove. And then a voice from this dove shaped napkin figure says, "If you follow me and you listen to my spirit, my Holy Spirit, you will be safe." And everything to the left, there was people to the left of me. And my wife was in this dream also. She didn't really say anything. And everything to the left of me, I was also on that side. Also, we were all safe. The fire, the flames didn't come near us. However, everything to the right of me on the other side of this white dove was all set on fire. Everything was torched. That was the first dream. Now, I want you all to know before I get into the second dream that I had these dreams, like I said, in the beginning of this year. And I did a lot of research on both dreams and try to see and pinpoint certain things and can this stuff really happen, as in the time of the moon, can the moon be actually be faced upside down? And yes, it can during the day. I'm not going to go into all of that stuff, but it caught my attention how accurate the timing of these dreams were and pinpoint the place and items of these dreams. Now, the second dream came, I believe it was about a month after I had the first dream. And like I said, these dreams came in the beginning of this year, before the World Cup, before that female who passed away for wearing her hijab wrong, and she was killed in the custody of the morality police. So now let me get into this second dream. The second dream that I had was, it was me and two other people. Now, I don't know who these two people were. They didn't say anything to me at all, but we were walking side by side, all three of us. We were all side by side walking. And then a female appears and she takes my attention. And the two people I was with, they keep walking. I look at this female, and then she walks in a building and you don't see her again. And as soon as she walks in the building, I look to basically right in front of me. And when I look in front of me, I see a bunch of people. Everybody's playing soccer. And they're all having a good time. They're all playing soccer, having a great time playing soccer. Um, and then I turn directly to the right of me. And to the right, I see this massive, and I mean massive, storm that took the entire sky. And it turned the sky a reddish gray color. And everything started to turn red and gray, reddish gray. And I see this storm coming my way. And it's coming and it is destroying, it levels everything in its path. Nothing in its path is safe. And so then while everyone's playing soccer, I begin to try to hurry everybody up, say, we got to move, we got to leave, we have to get to a safe place so we do not get destroyed by this storm coming our way. And most people did not listen. Actually, I don't think anyone listened. They just kept playing soccer. And then I looked straight ahead and I noticed the two people that were with me, they were now running fast in front of me. And then in front of all of us was this gate. The gate was open. It was like one of those sliding gates that slide back and forth. Like if you live in an apartment and it's a gated community and the gate slides back and forth, or your own house and you have one of those gates. It was a gate similar to something like that. And it was already open. And the two gentlemen that I was walking with took off running already. And when I noticed them, they take a left. Obviously, like I said, the storm was coming from my right. They turned left as soon as they passed through the gate. They turned left. So I began to run to catch up with them. And then I take a peek to my left and I notice I'm not going to make it to the gate, but I need to figure out how to get safe. So I say in the prayer, God, save me and tell me where I need to go so I do not get taken up by this storm. And all of a sudden, a massive tower appears, a big tower. And I go in from the bottom and I start running up the stairs. And I make it to a spot high in the tower. And there was a window and I looked through the window. And in the window, I could see the storm and it wiped everything clear outside of this tower. Those who made it in the tower with me were all safe. Now, we still felt the storm. The tower shook violent, but it did not fall. And the storm passed through. And everything outside of this tower that it hit was destroyed. Those were the two dreams. So I have my own interpretation of both dreams, and these interpretations took time. And when I mean time, it basically took all year for me to study, pray, and study and pray and study and pray and read and study. It took me the entire year to finally come up with an interpretation of these dreams. If you hear any jingling in the background, it is my dog. He is shaking like his fur and tail, and he's kind of scratching a little bit. And when he scratches, he hits his collar at the same time, and it just makes this loud jingle. So if you hear jingling, it is my dog in the background. And I do have two dogs. One is outside right now, and the other is inside, basically right beside me right now. But back to these dreams. Now, I would like to give y'all an interpretation of these dreams. However, I'm going to hold off on those right now. But I will say this about these dreams. And it may be in a later episode, I will give you an interpretation of these dreams, because I am still praying about these dreams. And like what I've told one person, actually a few people, my dad, my mom, a nephew, one of my nephews, and a couple of other people, some friends. Like I've told them, if these dreams are truly coming from God, and He's giving me this insight on things that are coming, these things are not, and I mean these things are not nice things. It's actually a lot of destruction that's about to take place, and a lot of people are going to die. And those who are in the path of these storms, the path of this massive shaking, if they do not hear the voice of God and listen to what His Spirit is telling them to do, they will not be safe at all. They will perish along with everything in the path of this storm that is coming, and everything that will be set ablaze. There are dangerous things that are about to happen. And like I said, I'm not going to give an interpretation. Now, those who are listening, if you want to tell me yourself what you think these dreams mean, go right ahead. It doesn't bother me. But I will just say this. This one part that specifically deals with soccer and the storm that follows while everyone is playing soccer. And like I said, these dreams happen in the beginning of the year, and that this second one is a big one, as just like the first, but the second one has pinpointed. So I'll go into a little bit more detail. The girl who went into the building. The best thing I can tell you is that girl, I'm not saying she herself is a distraction, but the whole world, at least the United States, turned to watch this girl. Turned to see what was going on with this girl. She died. She went into the building and never came back. And there was a girl who passed away, who was murdered by the morality police in the country she lived. And this dream, that girl in the dream, I do believe represented that girl. Following up after the girl is the World Cup. Everybody is playing soccer. Everybody. We're all playing soccer. So if this dream is truly coming from God, and He is trying to warn me or tell me to warn everybody that is listening, the majority of my listeners do come out of the United States, and there are few in Canada. Those are the majority of my listeners. This is a warning for everybody. Sometime during the World Cup, it might be closer to the middle, closer to the end, but it's going to be during the World Cup. Everybody is still going to be focused on soccer. And while our focus is on soccer, there's going to be a massive storm. And in this storm, it's going to destroy everything in the path. I don't know what's truly coming, but that is the warning. And it's not something pretty that's going to happen. There's no real prosperity that's going to happen. None of that. Those who think that things aren't going to get destroyed in this country, you're sadly mistaken. I hope I've said this now multiple times in previous episodes. I hope I am wrong. And prosperity is given to everybody as much as possible. However, if by chance I am right and it is God giving me these dreams and whispering in my ear to warn everybody out there, it's coming. It's coming because this nation is going to be judged and is getting judged. And it will happen swiftly. It is coming. Be prepared, get ready. And those who hear the voice of God and not just hear his voice, but follow him will be saved. Those caught up in the midst of the storm, if you still hear the voice of God and not just hear, but do as he says, then you too will be safe even in the midst of this storm. Now, I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to tell everybody about these two dreams simply because they've been pressing on me for a long while now. And I'm hoping that one, I gotta say this, one, I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I keep saying that. I hope I'm wrong because if I am, then good times are coming. But if I'm right, then like I said, it's not going to be good times. There's going to be a lot of sorrow, a lot of death, a lot of destruction, a lot of devastation. It's going to come and it's going to hit everyone like a whirlwind. So I do hope I am wrong. However, the I still have the responsibility to tell everybody these things because if I don't, then honestly I'm just like everybody else and I'm not doing what I feel like God is telling me what I need to be doing. So I can't do that. I have to do as God says. And I hope everyone does as God says. So I want to end this episode strictly off of that. Like I said in the very beginning of this episode, I usually don't do episodes this close together. I know a lot of people would like me to. I can. I just don't because honestly, I don't want to say anything that there's no truth behind. It's all speculation. I don't want to do anything like that. So I don't. I keep my episodes spread apart so everyone can hear them. They can take their time and listen and hear. But I am going to end this episode on that. So please send this out to everyone like everyone has already been doing. You can go to my website at theislandpodcast.org. You can read up on the blogs, catch up on the blogs. They're good. There's some good writings on there. It's all free. There's nothing you need to pay for. To be honest with you, I don't ask for money or anything like that. That's just not what I do. Everything that I say, I want it all to be free. Everything that is written from me or from anyone that I put on the website, I want everyone to be able to read it. I want it all to be free. I'm not going to put a price tag on this stuff. So go to the website and you'll enjoy some of these readings, some of these writings that have been out there. Again, I am your host, Alvis Samuel, and this is the Island Podcast.